Hello, community. A lot of questions about dataset for large language model. The easiest way I can think of is go to Huggingface. Let's have a look here. Our latest LLM, open source LLM from Mosaic ML, the company that is now bought by Databricks. We have here the MPT30B model. This is the Mosaic pre-trained transformer model with 30 billion parameter. And as you can see here, you have a very short introduction, a decoder-style transformer pre-trained on Scratch on 1 trillion tokens of English code. Beautiful. So you know what it is. And then you just go here after the hosted inference API. You have here the datasets. The dataset that were used to train here this particular model, this MPT 30 billion models. And as you can see, you have datasets that are available for you on Huggingface to download. Now, normally you also have here in the text on the left-hand side more or additional information. They tell you here the code base. Here is, for example, in the LM Foundry repository. There's their own platform. You have here the license. You have here where it has been trained on. It can handle long inputs thanks to Alibi. Alibi, remember here, train short and test long, attention with linear biases, enabling input length extrapolation, where we have here biases on the very key attention cores. You know this, you love it. We have here, of course, flash attention, showed you in my last video, faster transformer, and so on. And then they show you here additional model where this particular MPT30 was the base model. And then you have here additional fine-tuned model. For example, the instruct model is an additionally fine-tuned model on instruction following. And you have a chat model for dialogue generation. Now, as you can see here the last tag here is here your license. This is Apache 2.0 license. And if you're looking now here, for example, at the instruct model, you see here, we have here an open source license for this. If you're not familiar with Creative Commons, never mind. Here is a very short homepage. Here you see exactly here the abbreviation. You see here attribution share alike 3.0. Tells you you are free to share, copy, redistribute in any format, remix, transform, build upon the material for any purpose, even commercially, under the following terms, please. You have attribution, so you must give credit to the original creator. You provide a link to the license and you indicate if you have made any changes. If you have made any changes, then share alike comes into force and you must distribute your contribution that are based on the original license now under the same license as the original license. Of course, because you build your code on this specifically licensed code. So here, Creative Commons, very easy to understand. Yeah, what I wanted to show you, hold on before we go on, the datasets. Now you have here the typical C4 dataset, and you have here the multi-language C4 dataset, and then from BigCode you have here the stack. So if you're interested, these are available on Huggingface. If you want to have a look here at the dataset card, you see here on the left side exactly how the dataset looks like. What is the information in the dataset? How is it formatted? What are the D-types? So if you want to build a similar dataset, you get here a very good idea how you have to structure it. Then, of course, you can download this. They give you a detailed information how you can download it. For example, here, git clone Huggingface datasets LNAI C4. Tell you it takes 13 terabyte on your local drive. If you're more precise, you have different options to download it, acknowledge and license. So very easy. And then if you're interested, what are other models that have been trained on this C4 dataset? And then you see exactly here, updated 2 days ago, here's our MPT30B model exactly, downloaded 8,000 times. So you see, this is a very nice way to find out about the dataset. Now, multilingual C4, yeah, maybe we go here for the stack. The stack is here interesting way because you have now to provide your email to get access to this data set. This is nothing strange. This is some creator choose this way. Yes, they want to have your email for their newsletter or whatsoever. So you have a term of use here for the stack, for example. Stack dataset is a collection of source code of over 300 programming languages. Yes, you have the homepage, you have the GitHub repo, you have even here a research paper archive, you have a point of contact. And then you read here the term of use, you agree, you log in, and you got access to the dataset. Here even to tell you, very nice graphical, what it is, how you can use it, and so on, whatever changed in a different version. Tell you exactly what it is, the languages they are now supported, and how to use it here, for example, in a Python code, if you have your Jupyter notebook or your Colab notebook, how to load it, how to use it. The data field, exactly what each data field is, the content, the characters, whatever. Yes. A lot of information about this, but I didn't want to enter this here. So here you have the data sets for here, when we look here at this model, for the pre-training of this model. So now you remember the pre-training is very expensive. I told you if you do not pay $1 million, you are not pre-training any LLM. Let's verify this here. We go where we are. Hold on a sec. We are here with MPT30B with here the Mosaic ML that is now bought by Databricks. And they were so nice to provide us with some financial data. So the training times and the training cost here for the pre-training to generate the model was about $900,000. You see that took about 1 month. Per 1 trillion token, you had a precision from BrainFloat 16 in your model, and the hardware used were 512 GPUs, and we have here an NVIDIA data center A100 GPU with 40 GB VRAM. This is the pre-training. Now, as you can see here on this base model, I showed you here. Where am I? Here. We have 2 additional models that have been additionally fine-tuned. And the following models are fine-tuned here on our MPT30. You have here an instruct model for short-form instruction following, and you have a chatbot. So you see the license. At first, you see that the license here is an open source license. And here in the second case, you have a non-commercial license. So here you can instruct, you can use when you want to sell your model, when you have services you want to sell to your customers. But the second here is a non-commercial license. So if you go there, Huggingface has you even here with now the additional fine-tuned models. And you have here additional instruct is now a model here built by fine-tuning, by fine-tuning the base model. And now here again, you got it. Here are our data set where the fine-tuning now happened on top of the base model pre-training. So we have here, and I think the most important is here, the Dolly and the HH data set. You can download this here. Then you have some mathematical data sets. You have here additional data set. But interesting to know, you have here the Databricks Dolly 15. And you have here from Anthropic, the helpful and harmless. If you click on this, you see here exactly, again, how does the data set look like? What is here? If you click here in the string, you see exactly what is the conversation or what is the instruction that you are looking for. And if you want to build a similar data set, now you have a template for this. But of course, you can download this data set. If we scroll down, we continue to scroll down, here you have the usage. So you see exactly dataset, load dataset, Anthropic HH, and then you can use it. You even have a contact point if you have any question about this dataset. And here on the right-hand side, you see also the models that have been trained, pre-trained, or fine-tuned on this specific dataset. And here, for example, you see our MPT, now the smaller, the 7 billion model for the chatbot and a lot of other different models. And if you're lucky, you have spaces, and you can have a look at the spaces if you want to see how this goes. For example, here, let's have a look at H2O, the GP2 chatbot. It's running on A10G. So you have here exactly, this is hosted. You enter here your question, and you have here the operational chatbot running on an A10G. Beautiful. You can also see here in the tag here, the last is the license, and you see here an NC non-commercial license. So again, you have here for the MTP30B chat here, the model card. Downloads last month. Yes, beautiful. And you have here again the dataset that used here to train, to fine-tune this particular model. This one, and this one. Beautiful. Or you have it even in more details here in the text on the left side. So shared GPT, Vicona, Camel AI, GPT teacher, and so on. This model was trained, yeah, you have the release date, you have the model license. Hey, there's even a blog post, very nice. And you have, of course, the repo. This is it with some demonstration, how to use it. Again, simple piece of code, how to use this dataset. With the CUDA and the Triton implementation of the flash attention, yes, this is rather easy. Config, attention, config, Triton, unbelievable. Sequence length of 2K, you can use it with Alibi up to 8K, what you do, or 16K even, config maximum sequence length 16K, and this is done because it has been with an additional pre-training stage here for a sequence length adaptation of up to 8K, and Alibi enables users to increase this maximum sequence length even further during fine-tuning or inference for up to 16K. Beautiful. Here's the code for you to implement this. So you see, it is rather easy to find here the dataset for a specific model, or have a look at the dataset and find the dataset model that you are looking for. Now, second tab here is files and version. You notice here you have your normally about 10 gigabyte. You have here your specific bins. But what I want to show you is here the community tab. And always, especially if models come out in the first weeks, like MPT30B, quite new, you always should verify, because there is always some changes to the code. As you can see here, very first entry, community LLM Foundry update, June 27th, so 17 hours ago. Go there, have a look what this is. Update, no, so we go to see the files that have been changed. So we see 2 files are affected, 2 Python files, the modeling file and the normalization file. So, for example here, look, this was just hours ago. They discovered there was a little error, or maybe a typix. So they said, oh, we have to change. So from output equal x divided by this, then now is now output is equal x multiply this. So you see, code changes can happen. They run validation, they check again and again. So in the first weeks, please, there is always some adaptation. So if you have here now your model, always go in the first weeks, and even later, have a look at the community tab, because professional creators like Mosaic ML, if they do here some code changes, they tell you here, hey, 17 hours ago, we had to update our repo in the LLM Foundry for this particular model, and please update accordingly, because if you uploaded or downloaded this 18 hours ago, you know that, for example, here in this particular mathematical operation, it should be a multiplication instead of the division, or the other way around, or whatever the other changes is. You can verify what, or maybe you personally changed that in the file, that you do not have to download the complete stack. Okay, I think this is it. This gives you an overview, the model, the licenses, the demos, how to download. the dataset that were used to pre-train the model, dataset used to fine-tune additional version of this model, how you can download here this particular dataset, how you can see how the format is, how the design is, how the structure of the dataset is. Maybe you integrate it for a first test run in your model, and then if it works well, you can now optimize the data content with your personal data or with your company data. But do not start fresh from zero. Look, there are, if you go here from Huggingface here, top line, you have models and datasets. If you click on models, you see you have 240,000 models. So if you have here on the left side computer vision or LLMs, you have a model that comes close to the task that you are looking for. So please start with a model that has been evaluated and tested by the community. And if you go now at here the dataset, you see we have 45,000 datasets. And you can have here filter, multimodal, computer vision, LLM, text classification, zero-shot classification. And you see, for example, we have 107 datasets for zero-shot classification, either pre-training or fine-tuning. So have a look at this, sort it through, use a model that has been done by professionals before you start to build your own fine-tuning dataset for your model. Use this dataset, and then it is easy. It saves you time if you stick here to the format, to the design here of some professional dataset models. Beautiful. This is it from my side. I hope you enjoyed it. This is the overview that I want to give you about dataset. Which dataset should you use? Which dataset are the best for your specific task? I hope it was informative, and maybe I see you in my next video.